Hey guys, what's up? My name is Steph. I have this channel where I talk about my life with bipolar disorder and try to help you guys better understand it. I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 with psychotic features and mixed episodes 6 years ago. I've learned a lot since then. Prior to my diagnosis, I had been misdiagnosed. I had been put on the wrong medication. I had been under-medicated, but I hadn't received the proper diagnosis and the proper medication. So my life suffered some pretty severe consequences. If you're interested in learning about what happened and that story, it's a miracle that I'm alive, but I do have those videos on my channel and I'll put a few links below, but they're basically my psychosis stories. I'm grateful to finally have gotten help. I'm grateful to be doing this channel. I'm so grateful to you guys that have left your comments. Thank you so much. Thank you for your positive energy and your support. I really appreciate it. So I wanted to do a video today for those of you who have been newly diagnosed, or those of you who have a loved one, a friend, a daughter, a son, a sister, whatever, who've been diagnosed, so you can kind of help understand maybe what they're going through emotionally and what kind of help or what kind of steps they're going to have to take in their life moving forward, because it is a big, huge switch. It's like turning on a light switch. It's going to be, you're going to see things completely, it's a completely different world. So yeah, so this video is for you guys, and I want to tell you I'm going to kind of give you some of the positives that I've taken from it and some of the feelings that I've gone through with my diagnosis. So first of all, you got your diagnosis. Either you were thrown in a hospital from going through psychosis, or you were suicidal and you made a suicide attempt, or you've just been really depressed and you went to a psychiatrist. You have your diagnosis. That label is really scary. It comes with a lot of shame. It comes with a lot of guilt. It comes with a lot of like, God, I'm a patient now. I'm sick. I'm not like everyone else. I'm abnormal. Try not to focus on that. It's totally normal to feel that way, but it should be a relief, the diagnosis, because over time it provides answers for some of the things, because it's not like magically that we have bipolar disorder after this psychotic episode. It's that the major symptoms have surfaced, but we still feel everything much deeper than people who don't have bipolar disorder. Our emotions are heightened. So you start to, after you've been diagnosed, you start to have answers for these things that you've been going through in your life, and it really starts to make sense, and you start to feel less angry at yourself. You start to blame yourself less. You start to, and it takes a while, but you start to let go of some of the shame and guilt that you feel over the years when you learn that this is a medical, biological thing that's happening with your brain, which is an organ just like any other part of your body. And there's nothing wrong with you. You just have a medical condition that others don't. And it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that you have bad character. It doesn't mean that you're mean. It doesn't mean that you're selfish or all these other, it just means that you have a medical condition. And prior to being diagnosed, for me personally, I kind of feel like I was like walking around under this cloud. Like I knew there was this thing that was wrong with me, and I held all this guilt and shame about it, and I felt like a loser. And like I remember like after my second psychotic episode and I was working in media and I was trying to like date and stuff, I remember thinking like, God, how am I going to tell them? Like, I've already gone bankrupt. I've already like owned a condo, lost a condo. I've already like, you know, who's going to want to marry me? Like all of these really low self-esteem things. But in reality, I shouldn't have even been thinking that way or that far ahead. But like, yeah, like I was under a cloud. Like it wasn't always raining, but it was like there was this thing looming over me that kind of dictated my life's decisions. And by that, I mean, I just kind of did what I was told. I never really like lived my life for me. Like I always wanted to sing. I always wanted to play instruments. I always wanted to do like artistic things, but I just kind of did what I was told, because I didn't feel like bringing those things up and saying those things out loud were my I don't know, my right, or like it was okay for me. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. But now I can do the things that I felt passionate about before. I'm in a financial position with my husband working that I'm able to, but if he wasn't, I probably would fight harder for disability because the position that I'm at. Well, that's a whole nother story. If you're somebody who feels whether you can work or not as a whole is up to you. That's a whole nother decision. It depends on how badly your your disorder, disease, whatever you want to call it, disrupts your life. I have extreme PTSD now. If I had been treated a lot sooner, if I had been younger, if you're young and you're diagnosed, you're golden, dude. You can get treatment now and you can live the rest of your life and you won't have years of crippling PTSD like those of us who've been diagnosed late. But yeah, so it's normal to feel like that. Sometimes I feel like a patient. That sucks. But yeah, the thing about bipolar disorder is that it's made me a better person. I probably may not have gotten into yoga as much, or I definitely would not have gotten into self-enlightenment stuff. I wouldn't be going to therapy. I wouldn't be reading books about, self-enlightenment, things like that. I'm a better friend. I'm better able to like listen to people. People confide in me a lot. I can better help people. I can better be more compassionate to people. Like, I didn't used to like give people money who were standing outside of 7-Eleven. I did once in a while, but not to the level that I do now, because I've been homeless, because I've been psychotic, because I know what it's like on the streets and how it's basically everybody who has a mental illness or addiction issues or a combination of both. So, I'm kinder to others. It's those I'm able to be creative. And for those of you that are thinking like, well, I'm bipolar and I don't have anything creative about me, that may or may not be true. And something so simple as reorganizing your closet could be creative. Like, creative is, there's so many different things that are creative. Like, it's not just painting and singing and dancing. It's like, architecture and construction and, I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff. Crossword puzzles could be creative. I don't know. Relationships. You may or may not be able to keep the current people in your life. One thing that you should expect if you've just been diagnosed with bipolar disorder is people are going to react differently to how you tell them if and when you decide to tell them. Some people are really good about, like, if I say, hey, I had to change my medication. Some people that I know are like, oh, wow, that sucks. What is it? They'll talk about it. Other people will just kind of ignore that you said that and move on to the next subject. Those are people that are probably not really comfortable learning or hearing about mental illness. And you just have to understand that some people are like that. It's not you, it's them. And there are going to be a lot of people out there, a lot of stigma. You might be triggered. I've been triggered going out. I've been triggered watching television. There's things, I was watching this one like murder mystery documentary series. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but it was about this hotel. And, I'm watching the series and it looks to be like really interesting. It's a mystery. And then turns out at the end, it's a young woman who had bipolar disorder. She killed herself. So that was the end of the series. So that was triggering. I wasn't expecting it. It was triggering. I watched the series The Bear, and then the main character has a full-blown panic attack. That was really triggering, and it sucks too because it's such a great show. So I'm still going to watch the show, but it was really triggering, like seeing that. And then I was watching Shameless, the series Shameless, and then one of the characters has bipolar disorder, and that was really triggering. That show, the series where Ian goes, the season where Ian, one of the main characters, experiences his bipolar psychosis is probably one of the best representations and scariest representations of bipolar disorder that I've seen so far in movies or TV. So if you haven't seen that series and you want to know, maybe check it out. I know that it really helps me feel less alone to hear from other people about their experiences. I follow Instagram accounts of people with bipolar disorder. I'm subscribed to other people with bipolar disorder on YouTube who have great channels. So there's a community that you can find that will make you feel more comfortable. I think I covered everything. Let me see. I talked about you're going to want to know your coping skills, which that will go over into the next video. But yeah, I pretty much have said everything I can, I think. Let's take a moment of silence for those of us with bipolar. Just kidding. No, we can live amazing lives. We can be amazing people. There are some really amazing people with bipolar disorder out there who have lived life before, and Einstein was bipolar. So, I mean, and whoa, that was loud. Get this, in another video that I was watching, they said that having a high IQ is a risk factor for bipolar disorder. So who knows? Maybe we're all secretly smarter. I don't know. But yeah, it's not a fun illness, but honestly, like, I do find power and strength, and I do feel like I've experienced parts of my mind and parts of the world that other people will never ever see. And as awful as they have been, they make the beautiful parts of the world that much more beautiful. So I'm grateful for that. And yeah. Check out the next video where I'm going to talk about appointments and all the logistics and technical stuff about bipolar disorder. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. You're awesome. And I hope this was informative and helpful. Thanks. Bye.